Welcome back, my Guitkits family. I hope you're breathing very, very freely and peacefully. So, we have a special little 2-week extravaganza here. The black and white strat rip-off half-month, 2-week extravaganza is what it's called. This is part one. It's not like a full like episodic thing. It's just part one and part two, which have nothing to do with each other. Just so you know, man, in case you're following along. I don't want to confuse anybody. Next week, we're to talk about this beautiful Epiphone, from '96. But this week, we're to talk about this around 2005, 2006. It's a Brownsville LC33. Brownsville is a trademark that was registered by Sam Ash in 1999. Right around 2005, 2006, all these, Korean-made, Chinese-made Brownsville started flowing out the ass. Every Sam Ash you went into, every catalog you got, this was the low end stuff. They made like Les Paul rip-offs, slightly, modified looking Les Pauls and Telecasters, and this is their Stratocaster HSH. You know what I'm saying? It's actually a pretty decent sounding guitar. Even being all fucked up, the paint's all chipping off of the bottom here. I remember back in 2005. I was in this band called the Derelicts. My boy Ricky D, who was looking for like a nice guitar amp, and our drummer Scotty. You remember Scotty from episode 1? He played drums in episode 1, man. Anyway, he drove up to the Edison Sam Ash. And Ricky was looking to buy an orange amp. Not this orange that's over here. It was like a nicer one. It's a very expensive amplifier. And he's like, "Yo, let me get a nice guitar to play." And the guy handed him like something like this. He's like, we played it anyway and it sounded pretty good. So he's like, "Oh, if this amp can make this piece of shit guitar sound good, imagine what it could do with old Bertha." You know what I'm saying? So anyway, man, that's the Brownsville. The only thing I knew about Brownsville is that's where Mike Tyson was from. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn. This is Brownsville, USA. This is definitely not made in USA. This is made in China. You know what I'm saying? I believe by the Daquan factory, something like that. I'll give you the actual name. The LC33. This was the discount model at every holiday issue of Sam Ash from like 2007, 2006, 2000, 8, it's like $69 guitar for Black Friday. You get it for $150, you get this one, and a Guitar Research 10-watt amp. That was their package deal. It was the low end. People are mixing the internet. Some people say it's garbage. Some people say, "Oh, that's a great guitar. It's my first guitar." I think it's more on the garbage end of truth. And then people are just sentimental about their first guitar. Anyway, nothing too special. Like I said, it's cracking, but it's a cool looking instrument, man. It cost me $10 at the flea market. Just like this guy, you know what I mean? So we're going to, over the next 2 weeks, we're to fix up these two black and whites. We're to start with the brunette. We're going to move on to the blonde, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it goes, man. It's the way life is. So I'm going to flip you around. You know what I mean? We're going to enjoy this little preservation of a classic guitar. You know what I'm saying? And we'll just take it day by day. Day by day. Look at old wobbly selfie stick. We got a little bit more to do. You got a drug problem. So there it is, man. The Saturday night special from Sam Ash from 15 years ago. Try saying that 7 times quickly, man. It's a pretty innovative guitar if you think about it. You know what I mean? They've taken all the best attributes of the world's 2 most popular guitars and put it in one. The Stratocaster and the Gibson Les Paul. Mostly all Stratocaster, but they got the 2 humbuckers in the bridge and the neck. And this simplified, tone pickup. You know what I'm saying? They got the greatest of the great on this thing. And it's a unique looking instrument. It isn't something that, really you see too much of that. It stock's cool. Got like this, dolphin kind of nose thing on acid. Guitar's had some damage, you know what I'm saying? It's been definitely some water, or damp environment. And this is from, I think a combination of and abuse. I mean, look how deep that set is, man. Look how unfinished that wood is. Oh, we don't really spend too much time sanding. Look at that, man. They just pretty much spray paint onto, you know what I mean? It's got a bad crack in there, you know what I mean? So we got to attend to that. That's pretty much cosmetic, man. All the pickups work. Come on, focus, man. ADD, motherfucker. And the biggest thing that we got to really deal with is this, man. A lot of guitars have this break right here. You know what I'm saying? where they have like a neck made out of nice strong maple or something. And then the headstock made out of some kind of shit, you know what I mean? Less strong, or just, you know what I mean? They can't buy a piece of wood long enough. I don't know what the deal is. A lot of them have this. Mostly cheaper guitars. And this particular one, you can see it has water damage. Mold getting actually into the grooves of the actual wood, man. It's the vascular tunnel, man. This is being affected with mold, man. But this right here, you know what I mean? This has gone beyond. If you take a look, I mean, this is so damaged. Like, I can bend this. See that? See that? Oh, that neck's gonna break right off. And this is under tension with these strings, still, people. It's still, you know what I mean? Could explode any time, man. So this little time bomb of ours, you know what I mean? The reason that I get these kind of guitars is these are the ones that don't survive. You know what I'm saying? But like 20 years from now, somebody be like, oh man, I remember back in '05, I had that Sam Ash special. Taught me how to play, you know what I mean? Eric Clapton the fourth, you know what I'm saying? Some kind of motherfucker would be willing to pay for relive their nostalgia. You know, I might be able to sell it for $25 if I'm still alive. It's a $15 haul, man. You know what I'm saying? Peace be with you, man. Peace be with you. Let's get this guitar, you know what I mean? We're going to save these strings. You believe that? It's got pretty much a set of strings on it. We're not going to waste that, man. We're just going to, you know what I mean, unstring us. Now let's disconnect the body, man. We'll tape these far away. I'll show you in a minute, man. This is express style, man. Peace be with you. Peace be with you. Alright, so we got to take it apart. We got the strings all taped off here. This is, again, the secret, so they don't get all messed up. Because we're going to save these strings. We're not even going to take them off, man. We're not even going to take any of this stuff off, other than the clean electronics. Now, usually when you unscrew these that have been water damaged, you have a lot of problems getting those screws out because they're like rusted out. Well, luckily, you know, I mean, we had no problem here. So, first thing we're going to work on is this guy. Let's get it into the lab, man. We want to get the body worked on first. Hang on. So, what we're going to do here is we just want to put a little tiny bit of glue in there in this crack. You know what I mean? Before we do anything. Just sort of secure whatever paint's being, you know what I mean, haphazardly held upon, you know, the cracks. So take a little tight bond, a little coarse bristle brush, get it in there real glued up. Let that set for about an hour, and I'll see you outside for our next step. Outside, we've taken the body and we've wrapped it up in a paper bag. In this case, this is a paper bag from Wingstop. You can use any paper bag. They're getting harder to find. When I was a kid, we wrapped our school books in them. So, you know what I mean? A little bit of history for you. Paper bag, people. Put it over the guitar body. Tape it up. You know what I'm saying? Got some fresh Bondo. We're going to mix it up. We're just going to fill in that deficit there. You know what I'm saying? Fill that deficit in. Look at that deficit. Alright, see you when it's dry. It's a nice hot day today, so it shouldn't take too long. Alright, so we had it out here all afternoon. It's almost nighttime. It's very hard now. Bring it inside. You know what I mean? We'll sand it off a little bit and we'll come out of here tomorrow morning for our next little round of tricks. You know what I'm saying, man? So let's sand that down flat to 200. Not really great, but you know what I mean? Good enough to show we care, people. Peace be with us. Alright, so it's early morning next day. Looks great. We sanded it down. You know what I mean? Feels nice and smooth. Got a little bit of our friend, Mr. Filer Primer, right? Should have given it 1 or 2 coats. No big whoop. You know what I'm saying? He'll take care of all the rest of the riff-raff. Peace be with you. See you in a minute. There it is, folks. Nice 2 or 3 coats of filler primer on there. Let it sit out here in the sunlight for, you know, nice afternoon. And we peeled back the tape along the side here after we wet sanded it. And then we went over there again with some like 400 sandpaper just to get rid of that edge. I'm talking about centimeter, 1/16 of an inch about, you know what I'm saying? just so we got everything exposed, so there's no, you know what I mean, no panty lines, man. So now we're going to give it a couple douses of this, 2 or 3 coats. See when that's done, people. So we did a nice thin careful base coat, brought it downstairs, wet sanded it, came back here, did a real thick top coat, let it sit for about 2 hours in the sun. It's pretty much the end of the day, so we're going to bring it downstairs and just let it sit for a couple of days with lacquer. You got to be slacker. So now I think it's time to focus our attention on that neck. I'll see you in the basement. And there's the neck, folks. Now we know what the paramount thing is we need to do with this guy. We need to glue the shit out of that crack, man. Clamp it. Let it sit. But don't forget. So let's get as much type on as we can possibly into this crack. You know what I'm saying? We want to also clamp this part down here. You see it's a little bit loose up there. You see that? See how the fretboard's even went to take that nut off too. You know what I'm saying? We want to get it down good. So let's take a good look at it. Clamp it. I'll see you after we're all clamped, probably tomorrow morning. Alright? Peace be with you. Look after yourself. Brownsville is a little bit of a rough neighborhood now. Alright, people. It's early the next morning. We've had this set all day. 24 hours plus, man. Let's take a little gander. Look at that. There's no separation at all, man. Everything looks good. Yeah. I don't feel anything. Feels great. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I want to try to sort of maybe give a little bit of bleach to this, maybe. Just get this out. So I'll see you in a second after I get my tools ready, my bearings straight. Well, this was an extremely good repair. Extremely good repair. I can barely feel it. It's totally level. But it is a little ugly. You can see like where mold has set in dirt and everything. You know what I mean? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I got some sandpaper here. Different grades of it. I'm just going to sand it off a little tiny bit. Follow that with some steel wool. Not too much. I don't want to break through the finish really. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to, take this. This is a Magic Erase sponge. You know what I mean? A little piece. A little bit of bleach. Not very, very bleachy, but you know what I mean? Enough. We're just going to get in here real quick and wipe it up after it's set for a second or so. I got some water here for control. You know what I'm saying? Wish me luck, people. I'm just trying to, you know what I'm saying? Bring it back to fresh. See you in a minute. That's about good. I mean, you can't feel that joint at all when you're actually with the instrument. There's a lot of little breaks, you know what I mean, and the sub breaks, I should say, in this cheap piece of headstock wood. So we're good on this, man. Let's just let him relax a little bit. We put some bleach on there. We did everything we said with the sandpaper and everything, and I took a little bit of glue once there was like a little bit, like this kind of thick finish, like a nice matte poly. And I just sort of roughed it up a little bit. I put some glue in there and got some of the powder of the poly in there, and it's sort of, you know what I mean, it's curing out again. It's beautiful. Beautiful. So this is actually a pretty straight neck, man. Get this truss rod off. It does have a very, 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 very slight forward bow. So, we take a look at that truss rod and give it a slight honk. You know what I'm saying? I'll see you after we got the truss rod all corrected and connected. Give me my report. You know what I'm saying? Report of sorts. So we got the neck as straight as possible, but there's definitely some tall frets in here. There's some tallness going on. They're all jumbled. Some of them are way down, some are way up, way down. So let's, we got them all blackened out. Let's do a fret job on it. You know what I'm saying? I'll see you when we're done getting all fretted up. Right? Alright, so the frets are all well done. Nice and crowned out. Perfectly even. Got some old mineral oil. You know what I mean? Did some final touching with a little piece of fine grade steel wool. You know what I mean? Worked that mineral oil deep into that rosewood. You know what I mean? Smoothed out them frets. to a nice sort of matte beauty, perfection. Likewise, there was some rust on some of these. Look at that, man. We got the rust off of them. You know, now they're glimmering, shining like a fairy tale. See that, man? That was no camera trick, people. So I'm gonna let this set in for about 45 minutes. You know what I mean? Time is on my side. Peace be with you. Alright, so it's pretty much all seeped in there. As much seeped as it's gonna seep. My sepals. So let's wipe off the rest of this man. All this residue. Hit up the entire neck with some old bowling alley wax. Some butcher's wax, man. Everything. Front, back, side to side, headstock. Everything, man. Give it a nice thick shell. Fretboard included, man. Peace be with you, butcher's wax. Peace be with you. There you go, folks. The final clamp on the nut. Tighten all the tuners up. You know what I mean? That's a 10 metric, you know what I mean, wrench there. Get them all nice and tight, you know what I'm saying? Wax on the fretboard there looks gorgeous, man. See how it's got like a break angle, like a, you know what I mean? It's not a flat neck like a Fender neck. Again, it's Gibson Fender hybrid. Subtly, you know what I'm saying? So that break angle eliminates the need for string trees. You see that? Oh, save a couple of pennies. Save a couple of pennies. So let's let this guy sort of just marinate here on his good looks. Focus our attention back on that body. It's been a couple days for that lacquer to be slacker, right? I'll see you right over there by the body. Alright, so I've had this guy sitting over here a couple days, cooling off by the dehumidifier. You know what I'm saying? Right in the heart of the guitar jungle. And, I mean, it's settled. You know what I mean? It doesn't really smell like lacquer too much anymore. It's kind of starting to smell a little bit like basement. I don't even know if I got to do anything to it. Let's just peel back. Let's carefully peel back this wonderful old brown bag, man. Rest in peace, brown bag. And, you know what I mean? Sort of go around the edges a little bit with some steel wool. Maybe some wet sand and try to like blend it in. I'll see when we're all blended in, man. Blend it out, man. Good. You know what I mean? A little slight bit wonky, but I mean, you can't really see any serious damage, man. This is all, I don't know, hitting a wall, some kind of shit. Let's take a little bit of magic erase sponge here. Just work that off with some furniture polish. You know what I'm saying? Light. You don't want to get too much furniture polish on this fresh lacquer, man. See you in a moment. Alright, so we cleaned it up. Did a little bit of furniture polish action on the body. Now what we want to do, we want to unscrew this pick guard and just give those electronics a nice squirt of electronic cleaner. I'll show you what they look like. I know you guys like the gizzards. Let me pull that up. We'll see in a minute. That's what it looks like underneath the belly. Let me squirt this guy out, man. Get in there with some electronic contact cleaner. Get him out clean now. Now we're going to want to go on the other side and do the pot real fast. Right, it's going to feel like a roller derby in here, man. Just repeat that with this one and the switch and everything, man. So there it is, man. So let's clean this up a little bit. Close her up. Try to push these in, you know what I mean, and sand off these, you know what I mean, screws a little bit of that rust. See you back when we're out the cavity closed up, all sutured. Alright, all closed up again, man. So let's hit it up with some polishing compound here. We got some polishing compound. We're going to want to stay away from like the newer paint, you know what I mean, we don't really care about that. But let's just, you know what I mean, especially in those places on the back where we use the, you know, a magic erase sponge. Kind of left like a slug trail of unslickness. See you in a moment. Now it's like purdy sheeny and almost super shiny. Nice, man. So we're very close, people. We got some moms here, man. Let's put some wax on here and get it super sheeny, super shiny. Little protection on everything. On this, on that. the back, the front, everything. Everything, people. See when that's done. Oh, yeah, look at that glimmer. Look at that glimmer, man. Look at the luster, man. That's why they call it cleaner wax. Let's get this guy joined back up, man. Join together with the band, man. Screwed up, man. See you on the flip. There you go, man. That's nice. That's a nice pizza pie. So let's put this guy on there. You know what I'm saying? Carefully. String it up again. Put a new little E string on. And I'll see you at the glamour shots. Glamorocious, man. Pump up the volume. Folks, we might have a bit of a surprise guitar on our hands here, man. Brownsville LC33, man. The $79 Saturday night special from Sam Ash. From 17 years ago. No shit, really. I put it together, man. Fucking played it, plugged it in. Oh my god, set the action, the intonation, everything. Brilliant. These strings are 1,000 years old too, and it still sounds excellent. Imagine what it would sound like with like a good set of strings, and then like a 30-year-old set of strings. You know what I'm saying, people? Do you understand where I'm coming to? Look, this is what I'm talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? These cracks in here. It's just little cracks in here. You know what I'm saying? This should have been like a refinish. You know what I'm saying? Should have been a complete refinish, but we didn't really need to do it. All those cracks were kind of secure. Pumped a little bit of crazy glue into those cracks anyway, so now they are secure. And now we're left with this Brownsville, man. Now Brownsville, kind of like if Crown Heights was Jamestown, Brownsville would be Roanoke, man. You know what I'm saying? Some of my smart people understand that. Maybe one of my viewers will understand what I'm talking about. Maybe nobody understands. Maybe it's not understandable. Indecipherable. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, man. Let's hear this fucking thing so you guys can bask in the beauty that I've been describing to you, man. See that, man? You see that? We cleaned his butt off. Cleaned your butthole. Looks good, man. Let's listen to it, man. Let's hear it, and then we'll say peace be with you. So there it is, folks. The Brownsville LC33. I already told you my 17-year Saturday night special for $79.99. Sam Ash, all my little tongue twisters and shit that I was coming up with for this. So I don't really have too many other jokes for you. But since we got a nice twofer here, a big extravaganza, let's talk about two artists over the next 2 weeks that when combined together in perfect harmony become one artist. That's the artist of Squeeze. We're talking about Chris Difford, Glenn Tobruk. This week we're talking about Chris Difford. He writes the lyrics. Now these two guys have two completely dissimilar voices, but when they combine into one, this harmony is a perfect slice of new wave utopia, man. If you haven't dug on Squeeze, man, you gotta dig on them, man. So this is for you, Chris Difford, week 1, man. Shake the bet the disco and I think I got a pull. I asked a lot of questions and she hangs into the wall. I kiss her for the first time and then I take her home. I'm invited in for coffee and I give the dog a bone. She likes to go to discos but she's never on her own. And I said I'll see you later and I'll give her some old chat. But it's not like that on the TV. When it's cool for cats, it's cool for cats. Hey man, Chris and Glenn, man, wash those hands, man. Chris, that's for you. We got through week 1 of the Black and White Extravaganza. Back on the electric guitars again for all you people complaining about my peaceness. You know what I'm saying? Peace be with you, man. And look after yourselves. Peace.